The Crusades, an overview. This video explores the history of the Crusades, a series of holy wars fought between Christians and Muslims for control of the Holy Land. Beginning in the 11th century and lasting for several centuries, the Crusades had a profound impact on the political and religious landscape of Europe and the Middle East. This video covers the major events, leaders, and outcomes of the Crusades, providing a comprehensive overview of this complex and fascinating period of history. The First Crusade, the capture of Jerusalem. In this video, we delve into the history of the First Crusade, one of the most significant events of the Middle Ages. Launched in 1096, the First Crusade aimed to retake Jerusalem from Muslim control. Led by a band of knights, soldiers, and peasants, the Christian armies succeeded in capturing the Holy City in 1099, an event that would change the course of history. This video explores the causes, events, and aftermath of the First Crusade, including the impact on the Holy Land and the people who lived there. The Second Crusade, the failure of the Christians. The Second Crusade, launched in 1147, was an attempt by European Christians to retake the city of Edessa from Muslim control. Despite the participation of some of the most powerful rulers in Europe, the crusade ended in failure, with Christian armies suffering crushing defeats at the hands of the Muslim forces. The Third Crusade, Richard the Lionheart and Saladin. Launched in 1189, the Third Crusade was a response to the Muslim capture of Jerusalem. Led by King Richard the Lionheart of England and the Muslim leader Saladin, the crusade was a prolonged and bloody struggle for control of the Holy Land. The Fourth Crusade, the conquest of Constantinople. The Fourth Crusade, launched in 1202, was a shocking departure from the previous crusades. Instead of fighting Muslim armies in the Holy Land, the Christian crusaders turned their attention to the Byzantine capital of Constantinople. The Children's Crusade, a tragic failure. The Children's Crusade of 1212 was a tragic episode in the history of the Crusades. Thousands of children, led by a peasant boy named Stephen, set out to march to the Holy Land in the hopes of reclaiming it for Christianity. The Albigensian Crusade, the war against the Cathars. The Albigensian Crusade, launched in 1209, was a war against the Cathars, a religious sect that emerged in the Languedoc region of France. The Sixth Crusade, the battle for Jerusalem. The Sixth Crusade, led by Holy Roman Emperor Frederick II, began in 1228 with the goal of retaking Jerusalem from the Ayyubid dynasty. Unlike previous crusades, this one relied heavily on diplomacy and negotiation, with Frederick making a treaty with the Ayyubid ruler Al-Kamil, resulting in the Christians regaining control of Jerusalem without the need for military action. The Seventh Crusade, the capture of Louis IX. The Seventh Crusade, led by King Louis IX of France, began in 1248 with the goal of retaking the Egyptian city of Damietta, which controlled the Nile Delta, a crucial area for trade and communication. The crusade was ultimately unsuccessful, with Louis and his army being captured by the Egyptians and held for ransom. The Eighth Crusade, the death of King Louis. The Eighth Crusade, also led by King Louis IX, began in 1270 with the goal of retaking the city of Tunis in present-day Tunisia. Unfortunately, Louis died before the crusade could be completed and the campaign was ultimately unsuccessful. The Ninth Crusade, the end of an era. The Ninth Crusade, led by Prince Edward of England, began in 1271 with the goal of retaking the Holy Land from the Muslim Mamluks. The crusade was ultimately unsuccessful and marked the end of the series of crusades. The origins of the Crusades, the Byzantine Islamic Wars. Before the official start of the Crusades in 1096, there were centuries of conflict between the Byzantine Empire and the Islamic Caliphates. The Crusades' impact on Europe, society, economy, and religion. The Crusades had a profound impact on Europe, affecting society, economy, and religion. The Crusades' impact on the Middle East, society, economy, and religion. The Crusades also had a significant impact on the Middle East, affecting the lives and cultures of the people who lived there. The role of art and architecture in the Crusades. Art and architecture played a significant role in the Crusades, both as a means of propaganda and as a reflection of the cultural exchange between Europe and the Middle East. The end of an era, the legacy of the Crusades. The Crusades, a series of holy wars fought between Christians and Muslims for control of the Holy Land, lasted for several centuries and had a profound impact on the political and religious landscape of Europe and the Middle East. Thank you for watching the video. Don't forget to subscribe to our channel for history, culture, and more.